What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Zed. I'm back at it again with another video. And okay, cool. I actually moved my car because they started cutting grass beside me, and I was not trying to let you guys hear that the entire time this video is going to be going. So what is up, YouTube? It is your boy Zed. I'm back at it again with another video. And as you can see from today's topic, we're going to talk about the top 5 things I wish I knew before becoming a CNA. Before I start this video, I want to preface by saying there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the healthcare field, but specifically for this video, we're going to talk about mainly the 5 things I wish I knew. But I'm going to preface this by saying that there are some misconceptions that went into me, went into some of the things that I wish that I didn't know. So yeah, before I start this video, I do weekly CNA videos. Right now, there are not too many male CNAs doing videos right now. So I definitely see that I'm probably the only one that's doing a bunch of different types of videos. So, shout out to the other CNAs out there, women and men, and we need some more men on here. So if you feel like you want to make a video, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and follow me on the gram at LuckyleftZ. Subscribe and click the bell to support me, comment, like, all that good stuff. But yeah, so top 5 things I wish I knew before becoming a CNA. Number 1. So y'all know that I've been working at the hospital, but before I started working at the hospital, I was actually a CNA or a nurse tech at a nursing home, which really was something that I wish I would have known how different those two positions were. Simply at a nursing home, I felt as if I was just a clean boy. You know what I mean? Like, I was just cleaning patients. It wasn't too many skills that was, I needed to do. It was simply just, hey, you're a night shift CNA or a night shift tech. Stay awake and make sure the patients stay dry and clean. And it's so much of a different approach when it comes to hospital, because at a hospital, you're given a bunch of different things to do. You actually take vitals. At some nursing homes, or at least the 3 different facilities that I worked at, I didn't do vitals at all, other than maybe, respiration and asking them questions. It was more like a babysitting rather than actually caring for patients in a way that you would at a hospital. So I wish I knew how broad the healthcare field was and how much different the 2 different positions were going to be when I was working at a nursing home and then I was working at a hospital. At a hospital, you do take vitals. At a hospital, you do kind of learn a lot more because there's a lot more going on. There's more nurses there. Typically, there are not enough nurses at a lot of nursing homes, is what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. And, at a hospital, you work under 3 or 4 nurses. So in one shift, you can have, I don't know, maybe 7 to 10 rooms, but out of those 7 to 10 rooms, depending on if you're on a high acuity unit or not, those nurses will have 2 or 3 patients. So you're able to work with 3 to 4 nurses and learn from them and watch them and help them with whatever skills that they're going to do, any assessments that they're going to do. And yeah, that's something that I wish I knew coming in, because I probably would have went into a hospital first, but I definitely think I needed to do some of that grunt work when it came to a nursing home, because like I said, the work that you put in, the stuff that you learn can, help you in the long run. And I say that a lot. So yeah, we're going to move on to number 2. This is one thing that I see people ask me all the time. It's in some of the comments on other videos, is a lot of people are turned off by being a CNA because they think it's only dirty work. Let me go ahead and tell you, you do have to clean patients, but I've learned over time that, this is not the only thing that CNAs do. Some nurses, depending on what unit you work on, luckily I work on a floor where nurses are more helpful when it comes to cleaning. But at the end of the day, you're there as a help to the nurses. It's the nurse's job to clean patients. I'm just keep it a buck. We're there to help. Again, a lot of our job comes into doing some of the stuff that nurses don't have time to do, which is sometimes it's cleaning a patient, sometimes it's, checking a quick vital, sometimes it's passing out like food or water, or helping ambulate the patient, helping wash the patient, stuff like that, because nurses have to pass out meds, they have to talk to doctors, they have a huddle, they have a report with other nurses, with the charge nurses. So a lot of the time we're there on our own kind of schedule to help the nurses do what they need to do and help the patients get better. That's the name of the game. That's what it's all about. But yeah, nurses do dirty work too. A lot of times, at least on my unit, they'll come to me and say, hey, this patient is wet, or I'll go to them and say, hey, this patient is wet, or this patient is dirty. I need your help to help clean them up. They have no issue doing that. I don't get any complaints at all when I ask nurses on my unit, but I do know at a nursing home it's a lot different. You are kind of there by yourself doing it, or you're asking another tech to do it with you. Nursing home, you get an entire hallway, and it's up to you to do the best of your abilities to get everybody clean, to get everybody washed. At nighttime, it's to, check on your patient, make sure you round and stuff like that. But it's literally night and day. But yeah, it's the nurse's job to help you. It's the nurse's job to help you. And if they don't help you, I think you should report to somebody, because teamwork makes the dream work. And I've realized that changing a patient, washing a patient, changing the patient's bed, all that stuff can go a lot quicker if you have another person with you. And preferably the nurse is going to be the one to help you do that. So yeah, that's something I wish I knew. Oh, really quick too, I wanted to make sure I add this in there. Never feel like you don't want to become a CNA or a nurse simply because you have to clean patients. I want you guys to know that it's simply a part of life. Most of the time, the reason that you're cleaning them in the first place is because they cannot do it themselves. So you're simply caring for people. That's the name of the game when it comes to this nursing thing. And you might think it's nasty. I used to be a complete neat freak or germaphobe, but over time of me doing it over and over again and over and over again, it's a part of life. It's a part of the job. And cleaning a patient is not the worst thing in the world. It's actually becomes like second nature to you once you do it enough. So in the beginning, I was like, I need help doing this, I need help doing that, and it took me longer. Now it doesn't take me as long. Granted, I don't have enough time to do this, but because I'm in school. But as a CNA, you do have a lot of options when it comes to different types of contracts that you can grab. Again, when I first became a CNA, I started out with an agency who sent me to a bunch of different facilities of nursing homes. And I think that grunt work of me doing that got me, to the point that I am now, because I did a lot of stuff by myself. And I want to, stress how much of a difference it is working at a nursing home than working at a hospital. At a nursing home, I was literally by myself. I felt so alone. I felt unsupported. When I got to the hospital, it's completely different. A lot of people are there to help you. You can ask questions. Nurses are there to help you. Techs are there to help you. It's more of a watched facility. So you actually feel, I guess, a higher level of importance. You're charting on patients. Anything that you do, anything the patients say, you're reporting back to nurses. When at a nursing home, you say something to the nurse and they're like, and I'm not bashing on nursing homes at all, but I'm just saying the level of work that you're doing at a nursing home compared to a hospital is literally, to me, and I'm only speaking on me, it was night and day. It was really night and day. A lot of things that I was doing that nurses would do, as in chart, as in, ask the patients their level of pain, all that stuff that you would do is completely different in the two facilities. That's just how I feel about it. And that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, number 3, the different types of contracts that you can grab. You can work for an agency. These agencies sometimes can be local. These agencies sometimes can send you to different nearby cities. I haven't found one that's going to send you to another state, but I do know a couple of techs or CNAs that have traveled from, nearby cities, maybe an hour or two away, and they're working at a facility. Typically it is facilities. Again, I'm not sure about the, travel nursing at a hospital for techs, simply because I just don't know anyone that does that. And I feel like I've asked around and nobody's really doing that. But at a nursing home, you can find contracts that's willing to pay you $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week. I haven't seen anything more than like that. But you'll be able to find contracts that would send you to a facility, give you like a small stipend, or sometimes a lot of people, they live in another city. Sorry for my shaky camera, I'm sitting in the car, but they live in another city and they will stay with like a cousin, a sister, a brother, a friend, and work at these facilities. And during the holidays, at least during December and January, I do know that they will allow you to sleep in an empty bed in the facility. Again, I don't know if that's something that y'all want to get into. That's something I wouldn't want to do, but they do have rooms selected for some of their travel techs or travel CNAs to sleep at the facility in an open section of the facility if they have open beds. And that's just another option, just throwing it out there. You do have access there are other options beside the nursing home, regular staff nursing home, and a hospital. You can travel, you could do home health. It's a bunch of different options, and if you find the right rate, it could work out in your favor. Number 4, a lot of the times CNAs feel like they're at the bottom. And typically because we kind of are at the bottom, but you have more say than you think. Again, we are a help to the nurses. That is our job. We're a certified nursing assistant, or in some cases a nursing tech. So we're right under the nurses. We're helping the nurses do what they need to do. We're helping the daily, what is it called? Daily activities. I'm really drawing a blank. We're helping them do their day-to-day functions. But at the end of the day, as a tech, you do have more say than you think. You can, if you see something you don't like, mention it. Say something about it. If you see something that is unsafe, say something about it. If you see something that a nurse is doing that you feel like is not fair to you, you can tell the charge nurse. I'm not sure about a nursing home. I don't think as much you can do at a nursing home, simply because, there is no hierarchy. At least at the ones I worked at, there is no hierarchy when it comes to like making complaints and stuff like that. But if I see something that a nurse doesn't like, I can say something to the charge nurse. Typically, like I said, at my unit, I have no issues because everyone's helpful, everyone's respectful. And I don't really have an issue with that, but I do know at some places, techs get treated a lot worse, which is, I feel it like is unfair. And if you don't have that hierarchy of, the chain of command of people to go to, I'm not sure, if this is good for you or not, because if I see something I don't like, I can easily say something to the nurse. If I see something that I don't want to do, or I feel like it's unsafe, or I feel like it's unfair, I just tell the charge nurse, and the charge nurse handles it. That is what is going on at the hospital level. But the chain of commands is there for you, and you do have a lot more say than you think. CNAs, we are at the bottom. I feel like we're at the bottom, but at the end of the day, a lot of us are working in school. A lot of us are, on our way to doing bigger things, whether that being like a radiology tech, RN, a phlebotomist. Like, there are other options outside of being a CNA. And I also have another video that I will post in the description below to talk to you about some of the different options that you have that I made about 2 months ago. So yeah. And my number 5, which I think is the most important thing, especially if you do plan on moving up from being a CNA at some point, form, or fashion, is how much knowledge there is being a CNA. Care for someone, you take the CNA class and you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And you have a select plan or select way that you want to care for patients or care for people in general. The only thing is, in a hospital setting or in a nursing home setting, in any setting that you're going to be a CNA, you see a various amount of ways that you can care for people. There is knowledge that nurses can give you. There is knowledge that lab phlebotomists can give you. There's even knowledge that patients can give you. And simply being able to speak to patients, a various amount of patients daily, different amount of nurses from different units even. There's so much knowledge in the healthcare field, and being a tech is before a CNA, but being a tech or a CNA before becoming a nurse, I see the value in it. I see the value in having an opportunity to watch a nurse do an assessment every time you clock into a shift. I see the value in watching a nurse change IVs and give different drugs and medicines every time you clock into a shift. I ask questions daily. I learn new things about healthcare daily. And that's what I love about the field, is that it's forever changing and it's so much information. And even when you think you have a grasp on something, there's still another facet of it that you don't know, another reason that you don't know. And that's what I love about, this job, and me becoming a nurse in general, is simply because you can always learn something new. For my techs out there, word of advice: never feel ashamed of not knowing something. Always ask a question if you can. Try to learn a new skill every day. Try to watch nurses give assessments all the time, because oftentimes when they are getting an admission or even discharging the patients, you can watch them do the admissions. And now I'm sitting in the corner like a fly on the wall, watching them do their assessment. I'm like, okay, I think I know what's next. As if they're doing a cranial nerve check or they doing a reflex check, all that stuff, like I can literally call it even when working with different nurses, because I've seen it so many times. And when I become a nurse, these are all things that I'm going to use. These are all things that I'm going to remember. And like I said, the work that you put in now is going to show later on. I often hear, and I'll end this video with this, I often hear that nurses that were techs before make for better nurses because they know how techs feel, because they've done some of the grunt work, because they would have no issue helping to clean a patient, because they'll have no issue helping anybody do anything, because they know how chaotic a floor can get. They know how chaotic a night or a morning could get. And, you know, being a tech, there is value in it. So there's so much knowledge to learn. Try to learn as much as you can. And I think that's all I got for y'all in this video. Look out for weekly videos that I post, because I do post videos weekly, but make sure you like and comment. And if I missed anything, other techs feel like it's stuff that you should know, or even people that want to be techs or CNAs that have questions, drop them below, because I answer everything. I do read you guys' comments. Again, I get comments on videos daily, so I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the effort. Appreciate y'all for watching this video. That's all I got for y'all today. And yeah, shout out to all my techs out there. Shout out to all my CNAs. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.